49 South Africans land in the U.S. as blacks get deported. Person of interest in rape of 9-year-old caught and gunned down by the police. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. A U.S.-funded flight carrying the first group of 49 white South Africans to be granted refugee status has landed in Washington after leaving Johannesburg on Sunday. Relations between South Africa and the U.S. have been tense for months after President Donald Trump said members of the country's Afrikaner minority were victims of racial discrimination. This was dismissed by the South African Foreign Minister Ronald Lamola on Monday, who said there is no persecution of white Afrikaner South Africans, adding that police report debunked President Trump's assertion. South Africa says any allegations of persecution would not meet the threshold required under domestic and international refugee law. The U.S. has criticized domestic South African policy, accusing the government of seizing land from white farmers without any compensation, something which the South African nation has denied. U.S. currently is ship out the blacks and brown and ship in the whites. Trinidad and Tobago was rocked by two earthquakes during a 12-hour period, but there were no immediate reports of damage or injuries. The Seismic Research Center of the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies on Monday reported that the stronger of two tremors occurred at 8:41 p.m. on Sunday night when a 5.5 quake hit the country. The other quake occurred at 10:08 p.m. on Sunday night and had a magnitude of 3.8. Meanwhile, 18 students were taken to the Black River Hospital in St. Elizabeth with various injuries following a two-vehicle collision along the Highland Bamboo Main Road on Monday morning. The injuries are not considered life-threatening. 14 of the students are from Hampton School and 4 from Monroe College. According to the police, about 7 o'clock, a Toyota Coaster bus transporting the students was traveling in an easterly direction towards Santa Cruz when a Toyota traveling in the opposite direction was overtaking and made contact with the coaster bus. The driver of the coaster bus said the Toyota Noah had a near miss with another motorist before colliding with his vehicle. The police said speeding was the cause of the crash. The driver of the Toyota is being questioned and now faces charges. As a result of this accident, the government said it will be providing 7 school buses to carry students to and from school beginning in September. Children's advocate Diana Gordon Harrison is urging lawmakers to review sections of the Sexual Offense Act in relation to the monitoring of sexual offenders. This follows the recent rape and murder of 9-year-old Kelsey Ferrigan. The suspect in the case is a repeat sex offender who was out on bail, and there has been a stirring of debate again concerning whether the sex offenders registry, which requires the monitoring of convicted sex offenders upon their release, is having the desired result. Mrs. Gordon Harrison, speaking on Sunday on radio, acknowledged that the publication of the names of sex offenders in the registry has been a contentious issue. But in light of the continued brutal attacks against children and women, Ms. Gordon Harrison is of the opinion that there should be a re-examination of the statutory provisions passed in 2012. She is suggesting that the authorities establish a mechanism to alert communities about the presence of sex offenders in their midst, with provisions being made for recognized community leaders granted access to the registry in a bid to protect the community from predators living in their midst. She acknowledged that the mechanism used to do this would have to be stringent in order to avoid jungle justice being meted out against persons who are identified. Meanwhile, that person of interest in the gruesome rape and killing of the 9-year-old of Joblin in St. Catherine was fatally shot by the police in Sandy Bay in Clarendon yesterday morning. The St. John's primary grade 3 student was found inside a barrel at her home on Friday. Hours later, the police named Giovanni Ellis, otherwise called Cooliman, a person of interest. The government had offered a $2 million reward for information leading to his capture. On to sports. Well, last night it was Montego Bay United and Tivoli again, with that game ending 1-1, but Montego Bay United winning 1-0 in the first game now has an average of 2-1 and will move forward, leaving Tivoli in the dust, while Cavalier in their game edge Portmore United 1-0 in overtime to move ahead as well. So now Cavalier will face Arnett Gardens while Montego Bay United will face off with Mount Pleasant. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.